Oh, yeah, we were at a bar. Apparently, this was like an LSU bar or something. They had a legitimate marching band inside of the bar playing every time somebody scored. There's a tuba. This guy's got a tuba wrapped around his head.
That's so sick.
It was so annoying, dude. So I try and do one of those inside tracker tests once a year.
Is that the thing where it says how old you are?
Yeah.
You can just look on a calendar for that.
No, that's
dude.
chronological
No,
age.
it depends how fast you're moving. Oh, dude, I'm in relativity. Watch out, dude. My bad.
I spent most of my weekend running errands, cleaning my apartment, organizing things, and doing laundry. It's what I spend most of my life doing outside of work. But it's just like, dude, it's so much time. Even doing my sheets, taking them off the bed, putting them in the wash, putting them back on the bed, that takes like an hour.
Especially if you're jackhammering every day, dude. Rest in peace.
We did a massage class because I always get yelled at for being really bad at massaging.
Is it the pressure or the form?
I don't know. I think I do too much
soft,
pinching.
dainty hands, or do you like
No,
just
pinching.
have
Too much
time?
pinching.
That's with lotion too?
No, dry.
Yeah, you got to spit on it.
We gotta go, Pop.
Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship, self-development, and challenging norms like two best buds talking business.
Oh,
smash it all together.
It's too long.
It's not meant to be that long.
We need to take a minute offline and figure that one out. Because it's too long.
We don't really talk offline anymore. It's just text.
We don't. It's just the pod. Woo! Woo! Welcome back.
I do like how Koi's been sweetening my myself round of applause with some audience noise. We're producing these now. Right now it's September 25th. We're just launching episodes from anywhere from 3 to 6 months ago. But they're good. They're fun. They're fun. And for anyone that's not tuning in on YouTube, Belky's got a mustache.
I do have a mustache today. Well, I kind of forgot today. I just did that this morning. The girlfriend asked me to put on a mustache. I put on a mustache this morning.
Oh.
I have a girlfriend. Oh. My bad, dude. My bad. My bad.
Damn,
they're out of thread. Come on.
Dude, I had a dinner party last night, dude. It was supposed to be like, it wasn't even like a couples thing, but like everyone there was had a significant other. And I did up until a couple days ago. So I was just hanging out, just talking about my single life. And dude, I'm not ready for dinner parties.
Pack it up. Nope.
It's not me. I switched. I tangent.
Wait, I was thinking about that because maybe we were at a club or something, and I was just like, I need more dinner parties in my life because
I need more.
Yeah, because the club thing. Oh yeah, we were at a bar. We were meeting a friend who I haven't seen in like 2 years, and dude, apparently this was like an LSU bar or something. The team, the university. So fucking loud. Louisiana State University. Apparently that's where they all hang out. They had a legitimate marching band inside of the bar playing every time somebody scored. There's a tuba. This guy's got a tuba wrapped around his head.
That's so sick.
It was so annoying, dude. I was like, give me a dinner party. God damn.
No, dude, let me trade. I like that. That sounds.
I haven't seen this guy in 2 years.
Fucking tuba, dude. Dude, more people need a tuba just strapped. No, dinner parties are really lame. It's kind of like just it felt like, well, here's the problem. Another thing I realized, all my friends are Asian. I don't know why. I don't know how this happened, but there are like 8 Asians at this dinner party, and then me and Jack.
Well, it's like half the world.
It's like 100% of the nerd world.
Yeah.
It's all Asians. And I'm like, dude, they're talking about like Asian dishes, and I don't know what's happening. I wasn't meant to be because they don't do sports. They just do like fashion and like eating out. And it's just like the worlds weren't colliding. But that was fun, dude. That was fun. So dinner parties.
I was just listening. Well, I was listening to a podcast and you were talking about your Asian hair. So you got that going for you.
Right. And how did that go?
Wow.
Right. See what happens when I try and be Asian? Dude, it just doesn't work out. So that's fine. I'll go back to Latin America. What did I want to talk about? Because this is just threadless, dude. One thing I realized.
The threadless pod.
I thought coming out of last week, I thought on Friday, we'd go into the weekend, listen to a bunch of pods, and then come just stacked with FOD. I'm not stacked, dude. I don't got much. Really don't got
What'd
much.
you do all weekend other than the dinner party?
Well, it was really sad, dude. It was supposed to be like my roommate's girlfriend's in town, and we were supposed to do like this whole couples thing this weekend, but like you know,
Threw a
that
wrench.
fell through. And it was rainy, so I was just on the couch listening to the Elon Musk biography by Walter Isaacson,
which we are
like,
going to talk about.
I know. Too bad it's fucking 30 days long.
Yes,
It
sir.
is. I don't know how. Like, we consume a lot, but this book goes on forever.
We're late right now to do this podcast, so I'm a little thrown off. I'm not going to lie. I haven't had my second caffeine. I'm a little thrown off. I was in a doctor's office for an hour and a half waiting for them to draw my blood. That happened to be really good Elon time. Elon Musk, the book time. So I'm learning a lot. But
well, here's the thing. I think. Hold on,
take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
What? Hold on.
Elon Musk.
So I think I realized, dude. I think I realized how we make this podcast popular.
Yes.
Not that that's the main goal, because we'll shoot this without posting them. It doesn't really matter. But it'd be cool if some people listened that were interested in what we're talking about. Not when we're threadless, because that's just like, why am I here? But when we come on topics. And this is kind of just like mirroring what we did in the past, where in our early days, 0 to 100 podcast days, we do these things called book clubs. It's like we both read the same book, or even we do like podcast clubs, like pod clubs, and we just come and just riff-raff all about it. And we just debrief, and it was fun. It was awesome, but it was nice because we're sharing the same story. That's what I realized where we just dropped the 1492 Columbus story. I think we had a Tootsie Roll thing that we just scrapped completely. But it was like Henry tells a story or I tell a story, and it's just like carpet bombing the other person. And you come out of it like, what the fuck was that? I didn't enjoy that. That was just you like monologuing for 30 minutes. So I think if we have a shared experience like the Vietnam trip, but just apply that to like nerdier stuff that people care about or that smart people care about, then I think it'll do well. Dude, what is this stress?
The amount of times we've tried to figure out the podcast and then throw it all out the window and then figure it out again.
Well, it's kind of,
yeah.
I think it's the midwit meme where it's like we started Super Dirt and it's like the book club or like something like that. Is it?
Dude.
We share the experience. We try and do all this garbage good, and then we come right back to like book clubs. But I think they wouldn't do well naturally unless we do the like shorts super stack.
We could ask our audience, but we're not going to, right? We could talk to people.
We don't have an audience. But here's my point. Okay, this is actually an interesting point. Because I was talking to people on my world tour, and they were like asking what we do and like our like approach to content. And I don't like to give advice, but like the one sort of idea that I have, it's kind of like the inverted Gary Vee, where in the past he's like, hey, start with your long form, where it's like this is the big thing, and then break that down into 1 million repurposed clips, and those will like do well, and it'll have this whole ecosystem. But the inverted Gary Vee is where you start with the short form, like figure out what will go viral on its own, and then you make the long form about that short form, and then you get the whole ecosystem. But it's just like coming at it from the other angle. So that's where I'm like, this long form podcast would suck, especially in clips. But you start with like start shooting for the clip, and then put that into the long form.
I think that worked for Gary Vee because at the time he was like the only person putting videos on the internet. So it was just everywhere you looked, it was just Gary Vee.
Right.
But now, yeah, it's just like everyone and their mother's got a podcast. So yeah, I like the inverted Gary Vee pop. I like that you spent time thinking about that. That's really good. Someone's got to.
Well,
let me give you a thread,
dude. Did I hold on? Let me just tell you really quick. Okay, I'll give you. I'll come back to mine. Dude.
No, you're not. You're gonna forget. You're gonna forget. Mine's
I will.
Down.
That's a great point. I love content, dude. I forgot it. I forgot that I love content. So today, because I've been on my world tour for a while now, I've been out of the loop. It's just been Belky writing newsletters, occasionally putting out a short. Really not doing much, though, in general.
It's not going well.
Today, I'm like, it's Monday. I'm back. I'm settled. New man. Let me start making content. I sit down, dude. First 10 seconds. I'm like, okay, I had my AirTag save my life the other day. So I'm like, oh, let me like look, how does an AirTag work? I'm like, that's interesting. And then I'm like, oh, AirTags, they don't work off of GPS. They work off of Bluetooth. But I'm like, well, how the fuck does GPS work? And now I'm back in the 70s, talk about
Oh
the Cold War,
no.
and they're putting up satellites. And I'm like, oh, wait. So that how do the satellites like triangulate? Oh, it's not triangulation. It's like trilateralation. Try something, dude. It's
Oh
fucking
no.
spheres smashing into each other. I'm deep down the rabbit hole again, dude. I forgot how much I love the rabbit hole.
That's good.
Oh,
The
the
rabbit hole is
lowest
really fun.
tea, dude.
No,
They drain all the
dude.
tea out of you too.
Dude, that's my next thread. All the high tea I got. So on GPS, yeah, content's really fun when you just get to come in and dabble and rabbit hole and learn about it.
Yeah.
When you're the only one holding down the fort, and on the other side of that fort is like 15 teammates depending on you to write and shoot content.
Right.
And my long form backlog it's like 3 months deep. I got to make a video for Michael Dell. He keeps asking. It's like it's going to be months before that happens.
How do we get you out, dude?
We
We
hire
need the
a writer,
writer.
which we're working on.
Dude, can I comment really quick on this writer situation?
Yeah.
So, we sometimes reveal our hiring secrets. We're pretty good at hiring. How we do it, at least how we thought we were so magical, is we put this big hiring bonus. Like, hey team, you send anyone our way, we'll give you like $2,000. We're like, whoa, that's a fuckload of money. Like, you could send us $20 and we'd be stoked to refer everybody. So we want to put this out to the world. But the problem is, when they send out their message, like we kind of want like the referrals to like trickle down, like them to share it with other people, and they share it with people because they think they can get a bonus too, and like want this bonus to be everywhere. But they just come in and they're like, hey, this 100K PHP, like $2,000 bonus, we're just gonna tell the world, like,
Well,
hey,
you spent 2 weeks designing this. We talked about it on this podcast here, but it's like this recursive incentive system that came from this study at MIT where you could incentivize people, and then you could refer basically down a chain, and you could have this viral, like, massive sharing pool if you get the incentives right. So you spend 2 weeks figuring that out.
right. So basically what happens though, instead of like how it works in the MIT thing, is like, hey Henry, if you find the balloon, you get like, say it's the $2,000. But if instead you like share it and one of your friends finds the balloon,
You
they
didn't
get the
give them
2,000,
half.
but you get half of that.
You only gave them half. If the people who have no clue what that means are hearing about a balloon for the first time,
Oh,
if you find a balloon,
my bad, dude.
So- all right, so we'll go
We
back.
talked
All
about
right.
this story before. It's okay. You
Yeah,
want to
but
say
for
it?
the new people. So basically, why did I was gonna say DARPA, this organization, started this
It's like the
mission,
U.S. military,
but why
basically.
were they doing this?
Uh,
What do they care about
I
balloons?
don't know. They want to find things. They're like, the internet's super connected. Can we use that to like find people if they're like kidnapped or something?
They want to find things. Okay, so basically they put out this challenge, like, we're going to release 10 red balloons into the wild. If you find a balloon, you get $1 million, right? Something like that.
Sure.
Call it
that.
$1 million, $10 million total. So they do that, and everyone goes out and tries and finds balloons. And these folks at MIT are like, well, there's got to be a better way than just like Henry and Dylan walking out onto the street and trying to find a red balloon, because that's never going to work. The Earth is huge. And so what MIT sets out to do is basically they would, instead of one person finding a balloon and claiming the $1 million prize, they would set up an incentive system such that if you refer somebody, what's a good way to do this? Easy. If you, it's like,
Harder than it
it's
looks,
basically
huh?
like, if I refer somebody to the balloon challenge and they refer people to the balloon challenge and those people then refer people to the balloon challenge, all of that backlinks to the original person and everyone gets paid along the way. Does that make sense?
It's like multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing scheme for the balloon game. And MIT ran that model and found all 10
But now,
balloons in like 30
basically,
minutes.
everyone has skin in the game for like random people to find the balloon. Because I just share it with you. you don't want to share it with anybody else because if they find the balloon, you don't get any cash. So they just like take from. So
Right.
you're disincentivized to share it. But if them finding the balloon also makes you money, you're like, oh, I'll share it with all my friends because that's just a lot more likely than me finding it on my own. So
Right.
you're incentivized to share it. Basically, the point is we've been trying to like crack the code on setting up our own version of this for so fucking long, and we like accidentally do it by the team like taking this $2,000 thing. But instead of like doing what MIT does, and it's like, hey, the prize is like 2,000. If you find it, I'll give you 1,000 and we'll like split it 50-50 or whatever it might be. They do it where it's like, hey, the prize is 2,000, but if you find it, I'll give you like $100.
Or less. They don't even tell them about I'll give you anything.
Right. Sometimes they don't even tell them,
They're
and
like,
then they just pop.
yeah.
It,
Well,
this
so
is-
okay,
this-
so one
this is
time,
irrelevant for most people.
So one time, we don't think about it at all. We make these hiring posters. A teammate posts it. The thing gets tens of thousands of likes, millions of impressions. It does the viral incentive thing because he was like, "Yo, if you find someone, basically like put your name and then my name and like everyone in between gets paid." Kind of confusing. So you spent 2 weeks trying to recreate that. We're like, all right, this is going to be it. We engineered virality. We figured out the incentives. It rolls out today. And like everything you planned for this recursive incentive thing, thrown out the window the second the team posts it. And it's like you just can't predict like human behavior.
Well-
You even asked everyone on the team, like, what will people think about this? If it was this, what would you do? You know, you tried to like squash some of the human psychology with incentives, and they
It's like-
still did something you would have never thought.
I've been talking to the guy that originally like cracked the code on this like recursive system. It was basically like, here's 2,000, and he offered like $500 to anyone that shared it or whatever. So it kind of like blew up that way. I've been talking to him like he's some dude that just hacked in the iPhone, and I'm Apple, like trying to figure out, hey, how will hackers in the future try and hack the system? So we're trying to like game proof this thing. We kind of semi game proof because like half the people are sharing the thing, but the other half are like, oh, I can probably keep more of the pie than giving up $500. So let me just like keep it secret and like create. I don't know what's going on. We're getting closer, but like there's got to be a non gamifiable version of doing this that I want to figure out because it's like hiring is everything. So if we just get more amazing candidates, which we should, because basically we're just like pumping an insane amount of money out to new hires. This is like months and months and months of salary that we're just like giving as this incentive, but no one sees that outside of our team. And literally like we talked to the team, we're like, hey, say instead of $2,000, we gave like $5,000. Would the team now post to everyone else that it's a $2,000 bonus? And like, no, they'd probably still say it's like a couple $100 and just keep the 4,800 themselves. Like, how the fuck do we win this game? I don't know.
You don't,
but that's fine.
You just don't try, apparently.
Regardless, hopefully we'll get some subs or submissions, I should say, with this system as is, and then we can pull Belky and me out. But it's kind of one of those things where it's like I expect hiring a writer in this case to not work. Like it's kind of talking about the Elon Musk thing. Like everyone's like, Elon, don't start this rocket company and a car company. Like the chances of them working is only like 10%. He's like, yeah, but 10%, if that 10% works, is worth a fucking $1 trillion. So it's like just the expected value of that is worth doing, even though it's most likely to fail. I think actually a lot of people don't consider that. I heard it in I think it was the All In conference where they were talking about like the whole world. Say we're all playing baseball together. Like the whole world is just looking at, hey, what's that person's batting average? He goes up to bat. Oh, he's batting 300. He's 3 for 10. That's like pretty good. This guy, he's only 1 for 10. Like he's batting 0.1 or whatever the fuck they call it.
100.
100. So you think he's shitty, right? The guy batting 100 shitty. But it's like, no, that's the wrong metric to look at. You should look at his slugging percentage, which is like, okay, when he gets that 1 out of 10 hit, oh, it's a fucking home run every time.
How big is it? Yeah.
Right. Versus the other guy, he gets 3 hits out of 10, but they're all singles. So the guy that gets 4 points, basically, or like 4 bases worth,
Points.
Ends up better.
Uh-oh.
Haven't played baseball since I was 11,
Sports
dude.
Guy. Yeah, they don't teach expected value in school, just like everything else that's useful in life.
And Well, expected value sucks. Like, it's the reason why we don't do a startup, or like not expected value, but like failing sucks. Failing isn't good. Like, you should start off with the high batting average thing. Like, just get a base hit, even though like expected value of us doing Dunbar or some other startup is a lot higher,
Ah,
potentially.
ah,
I don't mean to bring up that.
she who shall not be named.
Uh, I've been hanging out too with your ex co-founder way too much. It's crazy.
My ex-girlfriend.
Um,
That's sick, Pop. I was gonna transition into a new thread if that's all right with you.
do that.
Okay. I've Oh, you texted me something over the weekend that I thought was interesting.
Thanks.
Basically, we spent the like 5 or so years post college now with this limiting belief that if you are not technical, if you're not a technical person, you cannot do technical things.
Mm.
And you texted me this weekend, our own website, gassing us up, and you're like, dude, this website is so sick.
The sickest.
The sickest, the way it's laid out, the conversion, the colors, the branding, that's not technical. But one of the really sick things it does is when you hover, listed like 4 or 5, when you hover over.
I was counting too. You didn't see it, but I was counting with my fingers. That was awesome.
When you hover over these, okay, so it's a beautiful website. It's a beautiful website. And it was interesting because we had nothing technical to do with it. But I feel like over the years, we've squashed this limiting belief, which is you don't need to be technical to build things that are technical. You just have to kind of know the scope of the work and then have good taste. And that's all it was. It was working with a technical person. We knew what was possible in this realm, and then just having the taste to be able to direct that person to a good outcome. So I thought that was good. I thought that was a good little self proof.
Well, I still don't really know it's possible. Like, for example, he just happened to be like on this last post. When you hover over one of the available jobs, it'll have like an image. Like when you hover over the hyperlink, an image shows up of like whatever you want. I didn't even know that was a thing. So like till he brought this up, I'm like, oh, now that I know that's a thing, like this is a lot cooler application than what we were thinking of doing. So we could probably be 10 times better if we actually knew like what was possible. But we can still create something that's better than every site just by knowing like the bare minimum of what's possible. I'd be sick if we knew everything, but
that's sick. Yeah, I'm really excited to talk about Elon Musk's book because it's
one thing,
constantly stuff like that.
What's helped us, because we've never done animation ourselves. I think I tried it for like an hour when I was like 18, and it was just like, I can't do this. But what's helped is because we have like a whole team of animators, and there are some that are really, really good. It's kind of like if you get 2 people doing something, you can get a better sense of like what's feasible. Versus if you have just one person doing something, they could bullshit you and be like, hey, this project's going to take like a week and whatever, it's going to cost this much money. Versus like, oh, you get 2 people and now they're like kind of like bidding or competing and you get to like the true answer. That's just helped us where we're like illustrators. We try and hire more than one just so we have like a rough idea. It's a better idea of what's feasible because they're probably not both going to lie. So that's been kind of helpful, but we got one web guy and we're still doing all right.
Dude, great work. Speaking of techie, I was in the Apple store at the end of the week last week, and I was Myron, the V. Myron, I think it's really cool. Like, I don't know if you've gone and like traded in a phone or gotten a new one recently, but to me, it's cool that they've got all of this tech that they've like built for their internal team. So like when you go and
you don't have high T, dude. That's bullshit.
That's my next thread. Let me finish my thread. I think it's
how
cool.
About add some T to it if you got high T?
I think it's cool. You go in, you bring your phone, and they've got like all these scanners that they made for the team. They've got like diagnostic tests that they've made to assess the condition of your iPhone. I just thought that was cool. I thought that was cool because 5 years ago, like that wasn't the case. But here, I don't know. Here's a big company that's like, these are the tools we need internally, and they go out and make them. I thought that was cool, dude.
No, I don't mistake my silence for lack of interest. I think that's My first thought is, wow, I love business. I love it, dude. I look, like listening to Elon Musk. I don't want to like give too many spoilers away, but I love how he's like, hey, the government's really sucking at this thing. We don't want to wait for like their approvals to do whatever. Like, you gotta get like budgets and like all this hoopla. He's like, dude, I'm just gonna make it myself, and then like fucking, they're gonna want it. It's just like, dude, take it within your own hands. Like, you know how to allocate resources better than they do. You
Mm.
know the real demands, and then it's just like fucking
Well,
build it.
and the reason I was thinking so much about this was because if you remember like 10 or 12 years ago, I would go like to get my first iPhone. I had to go to like an AT&T. AT&T would get like a physical wire and they would like plug my old phone into my new phone, or it was like a SIM card reader. They would like transfer everything over. And like half the time, if you lost your phone, you lost like everything on it, your contacts, your photos, like literally everything. And I was just like, wow, like in 10 years, they've made it so easy to like transfer data and get a new phone and transfer your number and even the tools that the team's using inside the store. Business is sick, dude. Business is really sick. That's the name of
One
that
thing
thread.
that's am I just gonna start talking about Elon? I'll maybe I'll keep it for later, but kind of like we just assume 10 years goes by and like business is just gonna be better, like technology is just gonna be better. But what was interesting with the Elon thing is he's like, no, we basically like got to the moon and then totally forgot what the fuck we were doing and shut down everything. He's
Shut
like,
it
dude,
down.
we went into the dark ages. Like that was just like the shitty era. And we're not used to that, but when government's not funding these really big projects and there's a high bar, like barrier to entry for something, tech just might like go down.
Oh, let me
It'll just be
piggyback.
lower.
Let me,
Oh,
let me,
okay.
let me.
Hop on, dude.
Ooh, ooh. I was listening to something not from the Elon book, which was basically like same thing kind of happened with nuclear,
Oh,
right? It's like we had huge breakthroughs in nuclear, and then they got scary, and now we haven't really done anything in 50 years. What's interesting about that is this person thought like the reason this happened is because nuclear came into the world for a scary reason. The bomb was the first instance of nuclear technology. So that's my piggyback. That's my
oh,
piggyback. It came in for a scary reason, so it's just always had this like black cloud over it.
right. Right. Well, you know,
Piggyback.
GPS came in because
Oh
of
no.
nuclear. We had nuclear submarines and we're trying to figure out where they were in the ocean. And we're like, okay, how do
Global
we figure that one
positioning
out?
system.
Nice, dude. Great piggyback. Um, I probably got more, but I don't know if we have to add it
Oh
now.
no, I got one more. I got one more.
Okay.
So
Okay. Oh, your tea. Your tea. Your tea.
my tea's back. Oh, well, no, it wasn't my tea, but I got my. So I try and do one of those inside tracker tests once a year, and
Is
I
that the
got
thing
my.
where it says how old you are?
Yeah, and
You can just look on a calendar for that.
no, that's
Oh, dude.
chronological
No,
age.
it depends
So
how
my
fast you're moving. Oh, dude, I'm in
my
relativity. Watch out, dude. My bad. My bad.
two twins. Uh, whoa, dude, throwing out threats. So, my chronological age is 26. You like my Einstein two twins? My chronological age is 26, and I got my inside tracker back last year. I got it back, and I was 25 chronologically last year, and I was 23 and a half biologically. This year, I aged one more year chronologically, and I'm now 21 years old biologically.
Or you're not.
21, and my T is on the high end of normal.
Dude,
Um,
I don't like to hear that because you're trending at a rate where you're gonna have a fully grown in mustache and think you're 17 years old, and that's a dangerous combination, dude.
Wait, that wasn't
Uh,
even my thread. That wasn't even
totally
my thread.
bullshit though, by the
That
way.
was just my inside tracker, not bullshit. So here's
Cool.
my thread. Um, I spent so it's Monday right now, and I know we were talking about weekend plans, but I spent most of my weekend running errands, cleaning my apartment, organizing things,
Mm,
and doing laundry.
mm.
And I started to think like, like, I don't know how much money I have to make, but like, if I could offload those things, it's what I spend most of my life doing outside of work. The
Really?
dishes, laundry, yeah, organizing, cleaning.
Wait. We
We're
gotta
also
break
like
this
moving it.
down, dude.
Oh, break it. Oh, I was supposed to break down. I was supposed to bring my finances.
Oh,
Huh.
you almost came prepared to this podcast, dude.
It's literally I did almost. So tomorrow, people can subscribe and you can hear all about my finances tomorrow. Um, Partly that's because we're moving into a new apartment, but it's just like, dude, it's so much time.
Dude,
Even doing my sheets, taking them off the bed, putting them in the wash, putting them back on the bed, that takes like an hour.
especially if you're jackhammering every day, dude. Um, rest in peace. Um, here's the thing, though, because okay, so this
Pack it up. Pack it up.
dude, I don't know. This is too dumb nonsense, but dude, there was like okay, I'll just unpack it
No, it's
later.
okay because at the 30-minute mark,
There was
nobody's
a measurable
listening.
difference. Like the water bill went up like 3x for that month, and I didn't even. No, dude. Here's what I wanted to say. We had this dinner party, right, which was like cool by 40-year-old standard, but we're like 26, so it's like, why are we throwing dinner parties? But they're like kind of fun if you like the people, but I'm not Asian, so it's like, what are we doing? But like this whole dinner party thing was an entire weekend's worth of preparation. It was like,
Oh,
hey, on Saturday was just like grocery day. It's like go out. We had to go to like a Japanese grocery store, like a Italian place for charcuterie, like some like normal grocery store for the rest of the stuff that we couldn't find. And it's like then you got to bring it all back. Then you got to start preparing the dishes. Sorry,
peppering.
that was relativity, dude. Brain was moving faster, speed of light. So we had to start preparing the dishes, and like then you leave it out overnight, and then you got to prepare the next day, and it's like, dude, it's literally like a 48-hour affair. And then it's just for something that lasts a couple hours, and it's like, couldn't we just order Uber Eats like we do when the boys come and we just play sports the whole time? It's like the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But it's like people really just get off to this stuff. One thing that was cool, I will say, we did a blind taste test of 4 different wines from $20 to $80, and no one could tell. Like we thought the most expensive one was the shittiest one, and it's
Nice.
like, okay, it's
Yeah.
all fucking folklore.
That is cool.
But my life is like almost zero chores. It's like
Yeah.
no groceries, so I just like stop at Sweet Green when I'm on my way to work and from work. That's all I eat. And then we have a cleaner that cleans the apartment. Also can do the laundry.
They'll do the laundry.
They
I spend a
can.
lot of time
I
doing
know.
laundry. I spend a lot of
Yeah.
time doing laundry.
But that you have an in apartment laundry thing. You don't even work out. Why would you be sweating that much?
I do work out.
you don't.
It takes so much time.
Things
It
are
just
normal.
takes so much time.
Huh.
It's okay. I got to put in the colors. I got to put
You
in
don't
the
get it.
whites.
That's folklore, dude.
It's not. I used to think it was. I used to
It's-
put everything together. My whites would
No,
turn
smash
yellow.
it all together, dude.
No, I used to. And my whites were like green
No,
and pink and yellow.
that's your sweat,
Hues.
dude. You sweat while you sleep. That's why it's yellow.
And then the bedding has to go in separately, and the bedding's huge, so it gets all knotted up, and it has to go through like 4 times because it never dries.
Oh,
And then meals. You're right. People get off to like cooking meals. Athena cooked last night. It was delicious, but then I had to spend like an hour cleaning everything up. And I'm just like, for her prep and the cooking, it was like an hour and a half for her, and then an hour to clean up. I can't figure. I think it's because most people just don't know an alternative. Everyone always says to me like, "Oh yeah, I need to go grocery shopping because it's like way more economical than eating out." And I'm like,
dude,
no, it's not.
dude. Can I tell you? I was in charge of the charcuterie board yesterday. Cost me almost $100 for fucking charcuterie meats. And I'm like, I what is it? And cheese, like each block of cheese, and I had to get like a bunch of different cheeses. They were each like $10.
But
And the
give me
meats were like
something.
$20 a piece.
Yeah, like look at something relatable though that we talk about, which is like, let's do a Subway sandwich. I can get a 6-inch sub with my meats and cheese and all the toppings, all the sauces, everything for like $6.49. You can't make that sub at home for less than $6.
Impossible, dude.
And all the waste, all the food goes bad. All the, the chopped lettuce, the cheese, like it all goes bad. It's impossible.
I think it only makes
Same with
sense if you have
Chipotle.
a real family. Like it makes zero sense for anyone that's single or even a couple to make their stuff at home. Because
Yeah.
a salad for me is $12 every time. She's like, all right, I'm gonna spend like $30 to $60 a day on food. And she's like, okay, $2,000 a month. But that's like all I ever spend. And I go to the grocery store, it's fucking like $7 for a pack of blueberries, and I'm like a pint. I'm like, how is this that? I don't know, dude. I'm just like, it's cheaper to do what I'm doing. But I think one thing that I realized is like if people didn't have that, I don't know what they do. Because we're curious and we'll go down the rabbit hole.
It's a huge time suck.
I think I'm trying to figure out like what do couples do, and it's like they'll like cook together and then go out to eat together and then just run errands.
We don't cook during the week; it takes too long. But we did a massage class on Saturday. Because I always get yelled at for being really bad at massaging. I got the C clamp.
You're really bad.
I got the C clamp. I'm just
no.
I'm really bad.
Is it the pressure or the form?
I don't know. I think I do too much pinching.
Soft, dainty hands, or do you like
no pinching? Too much pinching.
Oh,
too much pinching. But we learned all kinds of stuff. Like you got to warm up the skin. You got to dry.
Yeah,
you got to warm up the skin. We gotta go, Pop. Garden.